Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose. Ryan Garcia, he says he knows he's great, and he's saying, look, I'm daring to be great, and I'm going to show the world that I'm better than Tank Davis. And you know what? He should feel good about himself. But this is fight week. And I think this, right? Before I heard Gervonta Davis say that Gervonta Davis truly feels this is a 50-50 fight, right? I felt like Gervonta Davis had the better skill set, was a complete fighter, it's a smaller target, and that whenever he decides to turn up the heat, he won't have any problem getting to Ryan Garcia because Gervonta Davis, having the better skill set, being the more complete fighter, used to fighting guys who are much taller than him. Gervonta Davis knows how to nullify the left hand of Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia's right hand is not really much of a threat. I've personally been watching Ryan Garcia videos. I've seen him eat with his left hand. I've seen him write with his left hand. But I don't know if he's ambidextrous or not, but I tend to think he's naturally left-handed. But that being said, I'm glad to know Tank Davis sees this as a 50-50 fight. He doesn't see it as him going to come in there and just walk through Ryan Garcia. Tank Davis, for those of you who don't know, he learned a lot from the Rolly Romero fight. He talked a lot about that Rolly Romero fight in several interviews over the last couple of weeks. And I was surprised to hear him consistently say that Rolly Romero was the hardest puncher he's faced. And when he hit him, it felt like he was getting hit with the bare knuckles. And you could tell that Tank Davis isn't just pitching a bunch of hyperbole. You can tell he's genuine because when he says it, you can see his eyes kind of unrestrict widely, and he has that look on his face like he's reliving the moments of when Rolly Romero hit him in their fight. So what that tells me is Tank said, wow, fighting these guys who may be physically bigger than me, they can crack too. And maybe Tank had to have a little come to Jesus meeting with himself in that ring when he was facing Rolly and said, you know what? I don't need to just get in here and try to take him out because I can be hurt. And I was hurt by Rolly. Going in with Ryan Garcia, I like the fact that Tank is saying, nah, I'm not going to go in there and just allow this man who hits as hard as Rolly or maybe harder with that left hand that Ryan Garcia possesses and get knocked out. I'm going to be smart, be patient, set traps. When it's time to turn up the heat, I'm going to tranquilize him. Now, Ryan Garcia, I think he and Tank both have a lot of pressure on them, a lot of weight on their shoulders. But for Ryan Garcia, I think he has even more pressure, even more weight on his shoulders. No one, for the most part, the majority of boxing fans don't take him serious. And I don't think that's fair. You know, I would say half the fans see him as a YouTuber who can box. No one, and the other half sees him as a boxer who does YouTube and social media. But it doesn't matter what half the fans see him as and the other half, how they view him. My concern with Ryan Garcia is that he seems to be worried about trying to step up to the plate and either be or outdo his promoter, Oscar de la Hoya. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, someone needs to tell Ryan Garcia, and they need to say it in the kindest way possible, that he needs to hold his horses and not take it to the stupid. Ryan Garcia needs to focus on being Ryan Garcia. And, you know, having a guy like Oscar de la Hoya as your promoter, if Oscar de la Hoya's nose was clean, then I think it would be a good thing. But his nose isn't clean, and De La Hoya, in my opinion, has a lot of things going on with him You can tell just by his behavior, it's a bit erratic at times. How he'll mid-interview will just start laughing out of nowhere for like 2 or 3 seconds, then get a stone cold face and kind of scowl. Makes me wonder what's going on inside the head of De La Hoya. With that being said, it only makes me wonder what kind of conversations De La Hoya is having with young Ryan Garcia that probably has Ryan Garcia going crazy. Now, De La Hoya, when he's interviewed about Tank, De La Hoya doesn't speak with a whole lot of confidence when it comes to Ryan Garcia beating Tank. De La Hoya is still very respectful of Tank, and he doesn't want to say the wrong things, almost like De La Hoya still feels there may be a chance that he can pick up and sign Tank and bring Tank over to Golden Boy. And I just think that's really unfortunate for Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? De La Hoya is not standing on top of the mountain screaming, Ryan Garcia is great. We're going to prove it. We got the better fighter. We got the more complete fighter. We got the hardest punching fighter. We've got the next face of boxing. He's not trumpeting that. But on the Tank Davis side, they're all trumpeting that. Tank's even trumpeting that, which I think it could be a little problematic for Tank, seeing that he sees himself as a superstar celebrity already. But he does counter that with saying he's got to be careful with Ryan Garcia. Now, I'll tell you right now, Oscar De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia, we need to stop the comparisons. I mean, they're both Mexican-Americans. I mean, they both have a good left hook. But outside of that, I think we should stop. You look at Oscar De La Hoya, this man, let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna do it while I got y'all here because this acts the fool sometimes. So let me show y'all something, right? Because people need to understand this when they're talking about old De La Hoya. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. Let's just look at this when it comes to De La Hoya. Okay. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you. When you look at Oscar De La Hoya, man had 39 wins, 30 of those by KO, 6 losses, 2 by KO, right? He ended up with a 66% KO ratio. But De La Hoya, I think he's a 5 different weight division champion, man. 130, 135, 140, 147, 154. De La Hoya jumped through multiple divisions. But this is the thing that people are forgetting about when it comes to De La Hoya. Let's scroll all the way down here. And we just start looking at the names of people he fought. He's turned pro in 1992, okay? So when you come up here in 92, you see in 1994, he's already fighting Jorge Paez, okay? Look at the record of Jorge Paez, 53-6. Jorge Paez was a problem at that time. They used to call him the clown because of his hairstyle, but he could fight. He was a fan favorite, right? But 2 years in, he's already fighting guys like Jorge Paez, winning the WBO World Lightweight Champion, okay? Championship. That's a pretty big deal. Then he goes up and he fights Carl Griffith, right? Which he defended his WBO World Lightweight Championship, and then Avila, and then John Molina. Okay? Now he's defending his titles at this time. So 2 years in, this man already has a title. That just speaks volumes about De La Hoya. And then for those of you who should remember the Rafael Ruelas fight, because De La Hoya knocked him out, but De La Hoya took a little bit of damage in that fight, but he came back and knocked Ruelas out. Vicious knockout, that damn left hand. And you can see the record of Ruelas was 43-0 at the time. De La Hoya gave him his first loss. Then he goes up and fights Genaro Hernandez, does the business to him, Then after that, you guys should know these names. Now then you got Jesse James Leija, Darrell Tyson, Chavez, Miguel Angel Gonzalez. We know who Whitaker is. Kamau, you should know that name. Camacho, Rivera, Charpentier, Chavez, Corte, Obakar, Coley, Mosley, Gotti, Castillejo, Vargas, Campos, Mosley, Sturm, which is a fight De La Hoya really lost. Hopkins, Mayorga, Mayweather, Forbes, Pacquiao. So when you just look at that and look at the names, you can't sit here now and act like what's his name, Ryan Garcia, is going to be able to come anywhere close to what De La Hoya was at 2 years in his career, because Ryan Garcia is way beyond the 2-year mark, and to get anywhere near where Oscar De La Hoya was, the fact that he was able to bubble up, I think, through 5 different weight divisions. But I'm not saying Ryan Garcia can't be great. I just think it sucks for him, and I kind of feel a little bit concerned that he's so worried about trying to outdo De La Hoya. Like that should be a goal, maybe to try to be as great as Oscar De La Hoya was. But talking about outdoing him, it's too late to do that. It's too late. Ryan Garcia, he didn't start off at 126 pounds, 130. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fighters, especially like we're talking about De La Hoya and some of these other guys, they intentionally, by their team, right? They intentionally bring them into the fights at weights where they shouldn't be at all. But they kill themselves, starve themselves, suffer for that moment in time at the weigh-in to hit the scale at 130, 135, when really they should be fighting 154, 160. That's why you see a guy like De La Hoya, who stands 5'11", damn near 6 feet tall. The fact that this guy was coming out here and fighting at like 130 pounds, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? 135, I believe it was, for De La Hoya. Yeah, 135 pounds is what he started off at. That's crazy. But he was able to be a weight bully. Naturally bigger guy, stronger guy. He just hits that magic number for a moment in time. Then he goes on about his business. And then he goes to the next weight division, handles business there. Then the next one handles business. By the time De La Hoya got to 147, 154, that's around the sweet spot, probably where he should have been. He even went up to 160. So that just lets you know the kind of weight a frame of 5'11" can carry. You look at Ryan Garcia, he's fighting at 135, really 140, but he didn't pick up any titles. So for Ryan Garcia to think he can become a five division champion, I mean, where's Ryan Garcia going to go? You know what I'm saying? Where's he going to go up to, 168? I'm not saying he can't, but I'm just saying if he got knocked down by Luke Campbell, he says he walks around like 151, 154. So I just don't see Ryan Garcia being able to outdo De La Hoya in those areas. As far as the left hook, let me tell you something. Ryan Garcia has a vicious left hook, but nobody is topping that damn De La Hoya left hook. That De La Hoya, his left hook was like Wilder's right hand. It had the same effect on opponents. Once De La Hoya touched you with that, he tranquilized you. So for Ryan Garcia, anything's possible, but I'm just telling you, man, my opinion, Ryan Garcia is not going to, I just don't think he is in a good space entering the fight, man. But, I'm going to tell you from experience, it doesn't matter what's on your mind. Once you get in the ring and you get punched in the face, you wake your ass up real quick. I'm telling you right now, you lock in real quick when you get hit. And that could be what happened. Whatever it is that's on Ryan Garcia's mind, worrying about outdoing this promoter and all that, which I think is madness. Once he gets hit, he's going to wake up. And he's going to realize he's in a fight. And he's not going to be worried about that no more. But that being said, look, can Ryan Garcia be the next Oscar De La Hoya? I say no. I think it's too late, especially with the amount of weight divisions De La Hoya was able to land in and win championships. I just think it's too late for Ryan Garcia. They should have melted him down probably to an impossible way to 126. So he can pick up something at 126, then 130, maybe 135. He'd already be a 3 different weight division champion. For those of you who don't really know the history on boxing, at least you guys know who Adrian Broner is. He was able to pick up a title at 130, 135, 140, 147. Right? So they did Adrian Broner the same way they did Oscar De La Hoya. The difference is Oscar De La Hoya was fighting killers and tranquilized them with that left hand. Okay? But we'll see how it goes with Ryan Garcia and Tank. I don't know. He says he wants to show everybody that he's great. He's daring to be great. I don't think we can knock him for that. But I just think he may be in over his head with Davis, with all the pressure, all the stress, with a team that doesn't seem to really have any belief in him. It's got to take his toll on a young man. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. I'm in the breeze.